It is day one of the trial of Angelita Ruiz. Now, of course, this is something that our reporters have been following. We're actually going to go now to our reporter, Katie Parker, who's there in Longview where this all took place, to help us better understand. Can you actually take us back to when police were actually called to this situation back in April?
Yeah, hey there, Hannah. I'm here at the courtyard of the Gregg County Courthouse in Longview, covering the trial of Angelita Ruiz as she stands here today in the courtroom. And what I can tell you to refresh people's memories about this is this happened back in April of 2020. On April 29th, around 3:35 in the morning, police were dispatched out to around the 1700 block of Live Oak Drive here in Longview, where they responded to a call. That's kind of the angle you're seeing. Was is there was a man with a gunshot wound in his head, and he was taken to the hospital where he later died. As I said, this was believed to be domestic abuse related or domestic related, and that is what we're seeing here today. So now that we're in trial, this is the very first day of the trial. We've been hearing a lot of witness testimonies, and who we've heard from today, we heard from a responding officer who was there that night. We went through his it was pretty graphic, but what the biggest takeaway from me from that is that you could see Angelita Ruiz over the victim's body crying out, I did it, I did it. And of course we can't show that footage because it shows some graphic content, but that is what the footage showed on the body camera. And then we also heard from a forensic pathologist assistant. He was able to kind of explain what went down in the autopsy and what was found. And then after he described all of the elements, a general surgeon who served in the area since 1990. He's retired now, but he completed over 700 surgeries each year, and he was able to kind of just walk through what that type of wound can do to somebody. He described it as fatal. There was no way that the injury could be mended to where the victim would have been able to stay alive, but what happened was, as the bullet went in kind of above the back ear right here, went through the head, they spent a lot of time breaking down the trajectory of the bullet and how it came in. There is some video of a live court demonstration of the head and how the bullet could enter and exit. It is towards the end of this video that we're showing here right now, but until then I can kind of just describe what we're looking at. There's Angelita in the courtroom. Here we see him talking to the responding officer that was there that night that went through the body camera footage with the group of people in the room here. And then here he is right here going over it again, kind of just breaking it down further from a firsthand point of view. There's the autopsy assistant who was able to break down exactly what happened in terms of medical explanation. There's the defense right there. And then here is the doctor we heard from. He's a general surgeon. His name's Dr. Holcomb. He's retired now, as I said, but he was able to really just kind of explain what the trajectory looks like. And here's that model. Here's the demonstration that we saw in the courtroom. This was really a big talking point today heading into this afternoon. So I'm curious to head back in there after lunch and just really see how the rest of this plays out. But yes, this demonstration of how the bullet entered and exited, it entered the head was a really big talking point today.
Now, I noticed that we keep referring to the victim as the victim. Do we not know the name, his age, or his relationship to Angelita?
His name is Joshua Huffman. So far, I'm not sure of his exact age, but I know Angelita, she's about 44 years old. This happened 5 years ago, whenever she was 39. But yes, his name is Joshua Huffman. They believe the argument that led to the death to be domestic related, so I'm not sure if there was a romantic relationship between the two or a roommate situation or just anything like that. I'm assuming that will all come out here over the next couple of days.
Speaking of which, how long do you think this trial is going to last? Because they're going through a lot of information just on day one.
Yes, there have been many witnesses called to the stand today. We expect that trend to continue after lunch. It said that the trial should last through at least Thursday and possibly Friday.
Okay, and I know you're going to be following this along with us and keeping us updated accordingly. Now, if, let's say, we get to the sentencing part of this, what does that look like down the line? Are we looking at life? Like, what is prosecution looking for?
I need to confirm those details. I will check on that whenever I get back in there, but it is a standard jury trial, so it'll be up to them to decide the fate of the defendant here. But yes, we will confirm those details as things move along.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Katie. We appreciate your time and giving us these details. I know you're about to go back in court to continue on, so thank you again for this. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.